crazy controlled. They're missing each other by an inch, sliding each other. I mean, they know what they're doing, and it's poetry in motion.
There's a fine line between great focus and obsession, and you got to make sure that you're still in the right side of that line where it doesn't start inhibiting your performance when you get here.
You have to know where the edge is, and a lot of times we go over it.
Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is the American Dirt Series, the late models here on Thursday night. I'm Cameron Walsh with Randy Chenoweth and Hugo Louis. We're going to be bringing you this production here. It's the Super Late Models from Limaland Motorsports Park out in Ohio. Hello, everyone. Well, we're going to have some fun here today. Of course, CMF Motors Electrics, the Dirt Co. Media Hausen, and Down Under Graphics, as always. And Randy, we at Limaland.
Limaland, one of the most exciting circuits for me. Quarter-mile racetrack, new one, and first time I'm getting to see it under action here in a top-level series. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see how these guys can cope with it. Some interesting updates today as well. Converted some of the surface model changes they did a couple builds ago. So these guys are going to have to be sort of flashing back to 2 or 3 months ago, Cam, because they didn't have much time to prepare for tonight. Considering that patch just came out about 3 hours ago, more or less.
Yeah, pretty much. So we are going to be getting the qualifying times are coming in right now. We're going to get right into heats and then mains, and then we'll see how it all unfolds from there. We don't have any confusing spreadsheets to really look at here this time. Apparently, you can make all sorts of heats and stuff, learn all sorts of stuff here today. So either way, you're looking at Kate right now, as he's driving himself around the track, and we are getting our Ka-chow. I think he wanted that shout out too. So the top 3 make the feature, of course, but the top 2 go to the dash. The trophy dash, of course, will be kicking us off when we get done with our heats. So let us get ready here. Randy, we have got about 30 seconds left, so let's quickly talk about Limaland. Well, very short track, clay oval, and very, very flat.
Yeah, flat, relatively high banked. It's not super flat, but it's not quite as steep as Eldora. But you're right, the most notable point about this racetrack, the fact that it's very short, quarter mile. All the other racetracks we have on the sim, for those who are aware, a lot of people are like, wow, Lanier is super tiny. That's a 3/8 mile, so this is even smaller than that. So prepare to see a lot of people get really crowded. This is about the size that the majority of your short tracks in North America are going to be. As we get things set up, going to be 3 heat races, I believe, on the night. Heat race number 1 is going to be coming at you in just a moment. So like Cam said, 3 cars transfer to the main, top 2 will transfer to the dash, and well, those 6 drivers, they will sort out who is going to be starting on those first 3 rows for the main event later this evening.
And of course, we are joined by the ever vulnerable, venerable, and invulnerable Pace Truck. So the completely unmarked vehicle that we've spent many an hour here at RaceSpotTV thinking about what type of truck this could possibly represent. But
I think it's what the Air Force found at Roswell. I think that's what's actually pacing the field.
I mean, it may be, because it's such a unique looking vehicle. It looks like nothing else out on the road today as far as heavy-duty pickup trucks go. Either way, the guy that's sitting in there will be driving us around this racing circuit as we get ready for heat number
It's not
one.
an actual guy, it's just some ones and zeros that have been told to drive in circles. That'd be a sad life being the race driver.
I'm not even gonna warrant a response to that. Anyways,
dignify it with an answer.
no. It's Austin Carr. He's gonna be the one taking us at the start here. As you're looking at the back of the grid right now, let's pan that camera over to the side. The 123 car. Hey, there we go. So it's Austin M. Carr as we're getting ready to move. The number 5 machine, that's our blue one all the way on the inside. Greg Thompson, he's his outside. Then you've got Terry Renner, Kevin Forcier, Scott Bellum, Blake Derflinger, and then Michael Charette. But Blake Derflinger, Randy, not driving. And I think that's mostly because he's the one that's in charge.
Son, I am disappointed. Yep. Blake, really one of the ones pushing all the buttons, running the action tonight. Oh, I think he ran a couple weeks ago, maybe in the sprint cars, but a little odd to not see him after signing up. But that is okay. As field is going to be getting to roll themselves off for the first quarter-mile trip around this place. And like I said, this is the first real broadcasted race I'm getting to do, Cam, since the update. We got the cushion update coming in, and of course this little quarter-mile place. Going to make things relatively interesting. Track was clean for practice. They ran for about 15 minutes, so a little bit of slickness heading into 3 that I can see. But other than that, track's going to be pretty fresh for these guys.
Should be. I mean, I don't think I've done this since the last Friday night dirt night we did. So that was, 2 weeks ago? Almost. So either way, Austin Carr is going to get us ready to go in his Corvette, apparently. So that number 5 machine getting ready to go. Pace truck finds his way to the inside of pit lane, and we are green here for the first time at Limaland for heat number 1.
When 1 and 2, they're going to go in this first heat race, and they get it relatively spread out. It's going to be very, very tight for these guys. I suspect that we're going to see a lot of single-file racing here this evening. It's the sort of thing that you get here. Lap number 1 of 8 is now officially in the books. Already working lap 2. They're kind of side-by-side behind, though. That's Greg Thompson up top, fighting for that second spot with Kevin Forcier. A couple other drivers in that mix as well. They're already ending lap number 3.
Dust is already starting to accumulate here at the racing track as just looking at how much suspension travel these late models are going, the ruts and stuff. And one car goes around, 2 cars together. It's Kevin Forcier and Scott Bellum not happy with each other. They throw themselves to the back of the pack. Both cars continue, however, as Carr leads from Thompson to Renner, and that kind of settles the heat as far as who's transferring. Let's see where 5 people find their positions.
Yeah, top 3 are already settled. That said, if you're Terry the Nerd Renner, you might start pushing really, really hard here to try to reel in Greg Thompson, who's just ahead of you. You're going to have about 3 laps to potentially open up yourself an opportunity. Lap number 6 of 8 currently getting logged. So if Terry can get there, he'll be able to transfer himself to the dash. But I think Terry's likely going to play this pretty smart, and he's just going to take his transfer's position as they head off towards the end of this one. Michael Charlotte, he's not doing a very good job out there. Well, he's trying, but not doing very well. As Austin's going to be taking the white flag this time off of 4.
Go back to Terry Renner. It's on board. Actually, don't hold on. We're going to go across the line here because Austin Carr is going to take the checkered flag. So, of course, we're going to bring that as Austin Carr. He leads all of the laps here as he brings it around one more time. Greg Thompson will be finishing in 2nd. Terry Renner will finish in 3rd. But go on board with him real quick. There's a Race Spot Rocks thing on that, and that is, look at that. That is adorable. So either way, the results going on your screen.
That's so poorly. Come on, Terry.
I
you
know.
Do better than that. It's 2 or 3 pixels over to the right. Come on.
Yeah. Lame. And then Michael Schmidt and then Kevin Forcier. So with that, we will head right on over to heat numero 2. And that is going to be Austin Sullivan, Brad Dyer, Jason Minat, Kyle Vincent Gilbert, John Littoral. I'm not sure if I want to say literal or not.
Is that what you really mean, or are you being like figurative?
Tim Osborne and then KT King. KT King, by the way, he is just finding himself on the track. He is not. I don't think he's driven around the track yet. Like he was in practice, where I was overhearing.
Well, he was in qualifying. He was doing last.
No. I know. I mean, like I think this is like he was like 10 minutes before. That's when he got the.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
So.
That's not very Lightning McQueen.
hey,
He knows how to turn right to go left.
The origin story, maybe.
The origin story.
No. In Cars 1, you know, he would just show up and just.
Cars 1 fan.
I don't remember it. It's fanfic. So either way, all the eyes are way too low though. Anyways, cars are rolling, thankfully for us all. Austin Selman, he's gonna be kind of your one to see here. Let's see what he can do here. Selman following Dyer the outside line, and Randy, we seem to get ourselves 7 cars here. We're ready to rock and roll once again, and I think the last heat went fairly well. Let's see how this one goes.
It was a nice little last heat. Had a couple of little incidents. Had that one been around with Scott Bellman, another driver, but outside of that, it was relatively clean. Track's still pretty nice, so I think we're going to still see some one groove stuff for a bit, but as I come off of 2 and head down the short back straightaway here at Limaland that you're getting ready to take green, as one car pulls off to the left. That's John Literal.
Yeah, he was given an end-of-line penalty. I don't know why. So, anyways, they're getting ready to rock and roll. And that means Austin Selman now takes the green. And he leads us rolling through here at Selman, Minat, Dyer, Kyle Vincent Gilbert, and then KT King rocking and rolling here. 2 cars pulled into the pits. They think they might have gotten in some trouble.
Yeah, not sure what happened to those guys. But Blake handing out the EOL, so we're down to 4 or 5 cars already. KT King in the back, not doing Disney particularly proud here as Austin Selman continues to lead the way, stretching a nice gap over that 14 of Jason Minot. You can still see the 18 car. Pretty interesting line you have to run around this place. Very, very early apex here, Cam, and you pretty much slide it up. Actually, everyone's pretty much running the middle. Don't see people down up against the tires, really.
Yeah, not yet at least. There's still some running grip there as we're getting lovely camera pictures here from Hugo Louis. We saw the RaceSpotTV drone cams up at a high above giving us pictures as Austin Selman continuing to throw the machine through, and you can really see you're only on throttle for what, maybe 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds. You can actually see the tires, the rear tires kind of skipping as they go into the corner in one, Randy, just how these tires are actually, the car's bouncing going into the corner.
Yeah, going to be very physical for these guys. You see people slowly moving up the racetrack. We're going to be seeing that all night because of the new cushion update. The top line of this racetrack is going to get very, very quick, but it's going to take some time for that to come in as we get the white flag for Austin Selman, who leads by a few tenths over Jason Minot as they head down the back straight and into 3 and 4.
Yeah, so Austin Selman there, he's led every lap. He's going to continue to do that. He's actually going to hit the outside wall, but no worries there, as it'll be Selman, Jason Minot, Brad Dyer, and then Kyle Vincent Gilbert. So then you got Literal and then Osborne there. So heat number 3 is going to get ready to go. That is going to be, this is going to be the final heat of the day for us. It is going to be Dan Smulders, Connor Parise, Troy Wagaman, DJ Kilinowski, Ian Blanchard, Jeffrey Patterson, Logan O'Rourke, and that is going to be your heat number 3 field. So, Limaland Motorsports, well, haven't really had enough cars on the track to really see how they race, but I think as far as the drivers getting themselves sorted out and ready to rock and roll, people are getting used to it, and my goodness, that turn 1, it is extraordinarily bumpy. It's got a couple ruts in it.
Yeah, this place is tricky. I tried to do some laps here, and it is very, very technical. It's the type of track I like to see. I know some of the drivers complained about it. A lot of people aren't big fans of Charlotte either, but I think some people just need some time to figure it out, and I think we'll eventually see some good racing here. This sort of being the first attempt. It may not be the greatest ever, but hey, guess what, Cam? The first time we saw trick cars at Eldora and like to Williams Grove, it wasn't particularly racy either.
Yeah, no, I was sorry about the noise. I saw Trey.
I know, I saw what happened.
Yeah, he tried very, very hard. Anyways, pace truck. We'll get to the pit lane, or the pit area, I guess, as Dan Smulders. He'll let it go, and he was on throttle for about half a second and already had to get out. One car's already in the wall in the back, and he straightens himself out. We're green. Heat Larry.
Dan Smolder's going to take himself out to an early lead. The 11 car of Connor Parise, who we normally see in a Reddit-schemed Ford Fiesta. He's leading that second spot away from Troy Wagaman Jr. I know that Connor would be very, very happy if he could get himself into the trophy dash tonight. As in third, we have Troy, quickly followed by DJ Kilinowski. He's going to make a little bit of a mistake. That 2 car of Ian Blanchard gets very aggressive down to the bottom, and that's what you get at quarter-mile racetracks. One little mistake, and the cars behind are going to get physical. Good move from Ian to pick up that spot.
Yeah, and Ian now running the high side. Someone's running the high side, just going over the cushion, but that's not working out for him at all, as that late model that was having trouble.
We got a car
earlier.
around.
Yeah, Jeffrey Patterson, he's elected to put the car into the wall a couple of times now, but he's getting himself sorted out, turned around, so it's Smolders, Parise, and Wagaman as they're moving their way through. Ian Blanchard, Rourke, and Kilinowski fighting for the rest.
Everyone pretty much fighting it out here. Relatively single file still. Everyone gapping themselves nicely. Connor Parise with a little margin over Troy, with a nice little buffer over Ian and Logan. That's probably really the closest fight between that 2 and that 17 car. Logan is doing his best to try to reel him in. I think he's slightly quicker. Picks up a little bit of ground on the exit of 4, but the 2 machine picks it up down the straight. There's going to be 2 laps to go as they roll through 1 and 2, and lightning quick down this back straightaway.
Yeah, so it looks like it is going to be Dan Smolders with no issues here so far, as he's got just 2 more turns to go, and he will be the victor in heat number 3 here at Limaland Motorsports Park. He crosses the line, and that is going to be that. And Connor Parise will get that 2nd position. Troy Wagaman will finish 3rd. Then it will be the car of Ian Blanchard, Logan Rourke, and DJ Kilinowski, and then Jeffrey Patterson. So, well, all right, Randy, fair enough. 3 heats. Went pretty well, I think.
Yep, 3 heat races. I believe we'll be hopping the servers pretty soon to run the trophy dash. I don't know if we're going to have any eliminations because, well, the sim just skipped through all the other mains. So I believe we're going to be going straight into this once we get into the next server.
Yeah, so let's see what we are doing here, how these guys want to do it. So as Randy goes to figure that out, a couple of cars going out right now. There's a 5-minute warm-up. I'm not sure if we're going to... nope, that looks to me like everyone's heading their way out. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a commercial break. So with that, we'll be right back in just a few moments' time here. You are watching the American Dirt Series here live on iRacing Live, RaceSpotTV. We'll be right back. Not going anywhere.
Crazy controlled. They're missing each other by an inch, sliding each other. I mean, they know what they're doing, and it's poetry in motion.
There's a fine line between great focus and obsession, and you got to make sure that you're still in the right side of that line where it doesn't start inhibiting your performance when you get here.
You have to know where the edge is, and a lot of times we go over it.
Introducing a whole new form of racing to the best online racing simulation in the world. This is Dirt Racing on iRacing.com. Race online at some of America's most legendary dirt tracks, including Eldora and Williams Grove. iRacing is the premier online racing game featuring NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, and now World of Outlaws, the leading sanctioning body for dirt racing. iRacing is easy to use and features a centralized ranking system to make sure you have the best experience at any skill level. With a massive inventory of high-precision laser scan tracks and cars with an unmatched dedication to quality and detail, iRacing gives you the most authentic online racing experience available. Thanks to iRacing's dynamic track system, developed specifically for dirt racing, tracks change over the course of a race, just like your favorite dirt track on a Friday or Saturday night. From a slick racing groove all the way up to the cushion, iRacing's dirt tracks deliver non-stop racing action. Partnered with the World of Outlaws, iRacing is your source for the most authentic dirt racing experience available, featuring 4 brand new tracks and 11 new cars, including street stocks, Legends cars, late models, NASCAR trucks, winged and non-winged sprint cars, with much more on the way. Join the Dirt Revolution on iRacing.com and start slinging mud today.
Oh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Continuing coverage here with the American Dirt Series, here live on iRacing Live, RaceSpotTV, CMF Motors Electriques, Dirtco Media Housing, Dirt, Down Under Graphics, Kings of Dirt, Southern India Lawn Care, Shiloh Forestry, and B-Durf 1934. Across on the sponsors, I'd like to thank, of course, Blake Durflinger and everyone else at the in the race control here. Mark my that, I see. And intermission time. We've got some interviews. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna interview some people. Cody Olson's here. And Cody, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I was just helping these guys get loaded in. I was just coming over here to let you guys know we're going into the new server.
Yeah, well,
excellent.
you're interviewing now.
So no, we'll take that. So we'll see if we can find a driver or something like that. I don't know who we're interviewing. Hugo said we're interviewing people, and then I don't think he actually went out and then grabbed people to interview. So
Pull up old Brad Dyer.
yeah, all right. We'll see. Brad Dyer, I believe. Yeah, let's see. Let's get him in here. We can kill the music, Hugo. So
No, keep it
meanwhile-
rolling. Keep it rolling.
No, please don't. It's just so overdone. So, Brad, well, it's Limaland. Hello, first of all, thanks for joining us during the little intermission here. And just how's the track feeling?
I
today?
like how you say thanks for joining us as if he had a choice.
Yeah, you guys I was in the middle of a conversation. You guys dragged me up here.
We figured.
Track's good. I wish I would have done a little better in my heat race, but it is what it is, and I think I'm starting 9th tonight. And track's good, 100 laps. This track reminds me of my home track, Macon Speedway, Macon, Illinois.
Well, it's good always to feel kind of a little bit of that home feel. It looks to me like that turn one really develops a really interesting entry with how many ruts and bumps are coming into it. These two new tracks, the dirt track at Charlottesville and Limaland, they seem to be a bit more rut prone. I don't know if you've had much time on them, but what do you feel?
I've run quite a few laps because I run hosted sessions a lot at Limaland. I haven't run as many at Charlotte, but Limaland's a good track. The ruts and the character and the top groove, that's what makes this track really racy, and you have to choose your line carefully. You kind of have to learn to stagger the bumps and use your throttle correctly to get around this place really good. I really like it.
Well, and hopefully they can continue that growth. And I know the super late model is a bit of a bear, and it certainly looks like you guys are on off throttle, which Brewerton Speedway is my home track, and that's I don't even think a 5/8 mile. I think it's it is smaller than that. So these guys, at my track, they're on throttle for basically nothing. So it's good to see these short tracks making their way into the iRacing service. But either way, best of luck going forward. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to or thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to my iRacing team, Kings of Dirt.
There you have it. So, Brad Dyer, thanks so much. And Randy, we have got Terry Rennert, I'm presuming, and you're going to be standing by with them.
Yeah, I'm stood by with the NERP. Terry, new track out here at Limaland. How you digging it?
I'm struggling a bit with it. This setup, not so much the track, but definitely struggling with this track today, for sure.
Now, what is it about this place that's so difficult? I mean, it's a quarter-mile track, and a lot of guys are not going to be used to that. I know a lot of people, they thought Lanier was a tight place to race, and this is a step down even from that in terms of size. What's the big curveballs this place is throwing all the drivers?
Right now, it's not too bad. I think when the track's fresh, it's really pushy with this setup. But when it gets worn in and it really lets you swing the back end around, I think it'll be fine. Up top is really fast when that cushion comes in, but it's also deadly like you seen the other night in the 360s at Charlotte. So it's going to be a game of cat and mouse. You know, do you run the middle, be safe, or do you go for that speed up top? You know, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun.
Where do you think we're going to find you, Terry? Up along rim riding, or are you going to be safe down in the middle?
I'm going to be wherever I don't feel like I'm going to run into somebody. So the middle line looked pretty good in the heats. I was probably a little low there in my heat, but I'm probably thinking 1 and 2 high, 3 and 4 middle to high.
Well, good luck tonight, Terry. Hope to see that O2 machine out there in front. Before we let you go, sponsor plugs. Who do you like to thank?
I'd like to thank my teammate who's here with me tonight, Connor Parisi, because he gets mad sometimes because I call him Perez, but I got to thank him, Angry Dolphin Motorsports, you guys, American Dirt Series, and I'm glad to hear you. I haven't heard you in a bit, buddy.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Terry. Good luck to yourself and your teammate, Connor Paris.
Thank you.
That was Terry Renner, everybody. Is getting word
Ready?
that the server... What's up?
Parisi?
Yeah, Paris.
Have we been saying his last name wrong literally this entire time?
Well, too late now.
It's what it is. Ask Hugo. Apparently it's
let's
Hugo
find out.
Lewis. So
Let's find out. We're going to be joined by that Reddit Ford Fiesta driver involuntarily.
Well, yeah.
Connor, I hope you weren't having a meaningful conversation. Connor, how do you say your last name?
It's Parisi, but you know it gets wrong so often that it's really no big deal.
We've done it. We've done him wrong, Randy.
It's okay. That's okay. Well, to be fair, I think I normally called him Connor Paris. I just didn't get the hard E at the end.
You were doing a good job in the GRC races. I don't know what happened tonight.
Okay, blame Cam.
I'm at the picnic tables. Not even exaggerating.
That's fair enough. Well, Connor, we just wanted to get that little bit of business out of the way. How's that car feeling this evening?
It feels good. I like this track. I haven't really run it before tonight. It seems like the high line is probably going to be the way to go for the feature, but it's not there yet. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Good luck to you, Connor. Hope to see that machine out in front. Hope to see you run well in the qualifiers for Global Rallycross. Hope to see you in that World Championship here towards May.
Thanks, guys.
Adios.
So with that was Connor Parisi. I'm surprised that they modeled the picnic tables so well. I have been spending time at the picnic tables. I'm not exaggerating. It's no joke.
To be fair, iRacing spent some time around a picnic table when they were scanning a track. Granted, they didn't.
We don't even know which one it is. Yeah,
I have a very sneaking suspicion and a very
Belle Isle.
We'll leave it at that.
I don't even know at this point. Next to the grandstands, Hugo, if you want to play along at home, and by home I mean in Brazil. It's next to the main grandstands, on the outside of the track, just to the right of it. Where's the concession stand? I told people to go to the concession stand. It's got to be under the grandstands, correct?
Yeah, that's where the concession stands pretty much always is, isn't it? Just right underneath the grandstands.
Yeah, okay,
right
I see him. I see him over there. I see some fried dough. All right, I'm not happy now. You're almost there, Hugo. Just turn to the right, camera to the right a little bit, and then pan down, and you're right there. No, that's your left. Oh my goodness me, it's your left. There you go.
You know, you got to remember, he's in Brazil. He's upside down. The left and right are different.
Camera down. You can see him. You can see him if you zoom into the right. Just there we go. All right, and that picnic table was brought to you apparently by Dirt Co Media. I don't know.
Wait, is that picnic
he sees
table
him right there.
Have a top?
You know, it does. It's the mesh grating.
Oh, it's got. Okay, that way the French fries you drop fall through.
Yes, yeah, and the ketchup gets on it.
Yeah.
So when you lean, there we go. He's found one. And so when you get the ketchup on it, you sit there because you didn't see it, and then you get it on your box, and then you wanted to sit down in your seat, but now you got ketchup on the bottom of the box. And it's anyway. So with that, I don't even know what we're waiting for at this point. I think we're just making sure everyone's joined. I hope they're not waiting for us. That would that might be it. That might be waiting for us to say that we're ready to go. Hey, there's grandstands across the other side of the racetrack too. That must be where the outside pits are. Are they ready, Randy?
Well, they're running a B main apparently.
Okay, I'm cool with that. That's double the track. So, wait, what does that mean for us?
Hold.
Okay. The what's nice, the VIP boxes are modeled. In case you guys wanted to know, there's a filing cabinet that's modeled. That's exciting. Sorry, I'm not trying to even hold for time. I'm just like literally looking around the track. I haven't had time to look around Limaland. This is the first time I've been here. So, anyways, we're gonna sort out our end, make sure everything's all ready to rock and roll. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. I'm gonna fly around this racetrack some more. We'll be right back. So stick with us, RaceSpotTV and iRacing Live. It's the American Dirt Series.
This is Circuit de la Sarthe, known around the racing world simply as Le Mans. Since 1923, this track in western France has been home to the world's original 24-hour endurance race. Coupled with the likes of the legendary Indianapolis 500 and the Monaco Grand Prix, the 24 Hours of Le Mans is widely regarded as the world's most prestigious endurance race, and it forms a part of motorsport's Treble Crown. The first race was held on the outskirts of Le Mans back in 1906 and was called the French Grand Prix, the first Grand Prix of its kind. It was run on public roads, with one lap of the circuit stretching just over 103 kilometers. Then, in 1922, the secretary of the AECO, Georges Durand, was given 100,000 francs to facilitate and devise a new race for the region. Durand took this as an opportunity to stage something completely unheard of, a 24-hour endurance race that would push the modern race car to its limits, where manufacturers would prove their worth to the world. Durand's original Circuit de la Sarthe stretched 17.2 kilometers and was entirely comprised of public roads. It ventured into the city of Le Mans and stretched to a tight hairpin, before venturing on to the 8-kilometer long Mulsanne Straight. In 1929, the hairpin was bypassed due to safety concerns with expanding town suburbs, and safety was always a thing that changed and progressed the racetrack over the years. In 1932, the track as we know began to take shape. That was prompted by the construction of a new 1.5-kilometer bypass running from the start-finish area to the new entrance of the Mulsanne Straight, the now infamous Tête Rouge corner. This section featured the fast first curve that remains today, and what would later become the location of the famous Dunlop Bridge. Now, back in 1923, it was a field of 33 drivers that competed in the inaugural event, and their average speed, 57 miles an hour. By 1956, the field had increased to 49 cars, and they were running at nearly twice the average speed, at 104 miles an hour. As the cars became quicker and the competition rose, the track continued to evolve. For example, in 1972, the final section of the track was completely reconfigured to bypass the dangerous Maison Blanche kink. This included the addition of the Porsche curves and the revised Ford chicanes to slow the cars on the run from Arnage corner to the start-finish line. These features remain today. One of the then traditional
number 6 of the American Dirt Series late models, we have got the B main. We're going to run one. So, hey, let's have some fun with it. 20 laps around Limaland. Michael Charette will take us off. Kyle Vincent Gilbert, Ian Blanchard, Kevin Forcier, KT King, Logan Rourke, Scott Bellum, John Litterall, DJ Gilanowski, and then Jeffrey Patterson, my goodness. And then Zach Leonardi, and then Howard Weaver apparently is here.
He's just randomly in the grid for some reason.
Just randomly in the grid for some reason. So, he's not here. Anyways, Pace Truck is not here. We're going to run this all old school style. So, whatever vehicle you would like to imagine leading the pace car, you can do it. So, with that, Michael Charette will be leading us for 20 laps here on iRacing Live RaceSpotTV American Dirt Series. Round number 6, B main qualifying only. Everyone transfers Randy, and, well, we'll see when these guys are getting ready to go, probably this lap.
I believe so. Field pretty much in command of Michael, and I think we're pretty much all set. Like Cam just said, qualifying only, everyone will transfer. They're going to do this for the B main, and then they'll have the trophy dash. Pretty much the same story as these guys set their sights towards 3 and 4, and let's see if that 123 is going this time.
So here we go, getting ready to rock and or roll. So your pace leader is the sideline. Neither this time, as somebody's having some fun times back there. But either way, Michael Charette will see if he can get this ball rolling. So this is going to be, as we said, a 20-lap B main. Getting ready to go. That 123 machine doesn't look like they're going to want to go this time either.
So maybe not liking the start. 2 machines seemed like he wanted to go, so we'll still just pace him around.
So now they're definitely not even lined up. So he, you know what? I don't think Charette wanted to take the start there. He wants to go back to the end of the line. Maybe he was out of grid. Maybe he was out of order. I don't know. Either way, Ian Blanchard will be taking it. So he's going to be the one calling the shot. We'll get this thing rolling. You can't. Hey, you know what? It can't be a dirt night that you would expect anywhere in the country without this happening at least once. So Ian Blanchard looks like he is going to get ready here. Super late model action here at Limaland 20 lap B main. Getting ready to come at you live here on iRacing Live RaceSpotTV. Ian Blanchard, he'll let it go, and we are green.
Oh, bit of a bash coming in already. That 18 machine getting into that 227 of Kyle Gilbert, and 18 cars going to go around. I think we're going to be under caution. Maybe not. We might just keep it green. And lap number... Nope, they are going to slow them down. And there's another spin off of 4.
Yeah, so that was going to be the yellow flag right there. Gets them under caution. So race control pulling it out there, as you can see on the replay, as the 123 machine buried into the back of the 16 and sent them both around. Sent the yellow out, and that means that we're behind our invisible pacing car. They're going to sort themselves out as far as positioning goes, and we're going to get ourselves ready to go once again. Randy, it looked to me like people wanted to be racy.
Yeah, people were wanting to get a little bit racy. Lap 1 did not count, so we're going to be completely resetting the field here, Cam, and that means we still have 20 laps on the board to get a run here, as they did not make it to start finish.
Yep, so what that means is that they should be going green this time by a guess. Well, they need to get themselves sorted out, actually. But for Ian Blanchard, might be going this time by anyways, so it looks like they want to get ready to get this show on the road.
Okay.
So, yeah, we were just kidding. So maybe, yeah, this time by definitely. So, it's going to be his lap 12, which means that when he gets to lap 32 on my ticker, that means he'll run 20 laps. So that's how we're going to do this. So Ian Blanchard is going to be taking the green once again. Spool them up, boys. Super late model action coming to you from Limaland.
Let's see if we can get a lap logged in here. Still lap 1 of 20, yet to be complete. Couple cars up in the wall up top. 16 machine, I think, is the one who I saw half spun around. Yes, Jeff Patterson. Also had 18 of KT King, and that's a secondary incident. Those guys really struggling up there.
Kyle Vincent Gilbert is working hard on Logan Rourke, though, for second position here. Ian Blanchard, he is just squeezed away here inside line fighting. as it looks to me they're gotten themselves door to door here. They're hooked up, and Logan Rourke, he's trying to keep that inside line, but he's having to use a lot of sheet metal to keep that thing going.
Got a little bit of contact there as they come out toward the end of this lap. The two machine of Ian Blanchard still leading the way. Telling you can get good close racing here in these little quarter milers. You're seeing that from Logan and Kyle as they head down the back straightaway.
Yeah, so Ian Blanchard now is in first. Logan Rourke is comfortably in second. Kyle Gilbert in at third. DJ Kilinowski running fourth. Side-by-side action from Kevin Forcier, the 24 machine of Zach Leonardi. He's got he had the position for a moment, but Forcier, he ran the inside line, and you can just, I think Forcier caught one of those tires, and that is not going to bode well for him there, as these machines, you got to remember, those buried tires are where the track is.
Yeah, you need to be very, very aware of those things. Don't want to find yourself tapping them as cars are still working their way out there. Race leader Blanchard.
One car around,
someone
two
got
car
caught
around.
a little bit. Where's that at? Oh, yep, I see it now. Jeff Patterson.
Yeah, Patterson and Scott Bellum. So under caution once again. So let me take a look at Blanchard. We started on lap 13, which means we've run, mathematically speaking,
14 to go.
Sure, yeah, 14 to go. That sounds about...
That came from race control, so...
Oh, okay.
It's the number.
That's the number. So 14 to go here as these guys are circling around the track one more time. So it'll probably be about maybe 3 laps around till we get ourselves green once again. Outside of Ian Blanchard is going to be Logan Rourke. And in third is going to be Kyle Gilbert, and then fourth, Kilinowski. And, well, we saw some good fighting between the inside and outside lines, Randy, so should be pretty interesting to see how these guys want to get these things going.
That's the main thing to keep in mind as they form themselves up single file. We're immediately going back. So already enacting the single file rule is race control. A little bit of contact for your race lead. 17 car of Logan Rourke trying to get down to the bottom of Ian Blanchard, but not quite going to be able to get there. He throws a big move down low, but nowhere near close enough. They're side by side behind though as well. This DJ Kilinowski and Zach Leonardi.
And it's going to be Blanchard and Logan Rourke. Rourke has been working, and here he goes. He throws way to the inside, but Blanchard keeps his machine steady on the outside. Rourke, he just throws it in, very aggressive here, as this is the fight for the lead with probably, we're at probably 11 to go at this point?
Yep, going to be 11 to go right here as they come across the timing beam. Ian still just out in front of Logan. Keep in mind, there's no transfer positions really up for grabs, so you can be pretty aggressive and know you can make the main. They're going to work on lapping KT King, who's up to the top side of the racetrack. KT doesn't looks like that car's got some damage, not quite able to keep it up there as nicely as I would like, but race leader's top 2 able to get through.
Yeah, and the big thing is the battle wasn't influenced in any way by that lap car, and that's the best thing out of them all. So Logan Rourke is trying to cut, and finally he makes contact door-to-door, fender to the door anyways. As KT King has a hard into the wall, Nat collects a couple of cars. DJ Kilinowski gets a big beating. Zach Leonardi collects them as well. And one car gets hit up the track. That's Kyle Gilbert, and there we go. There's a couple of cars around. One car
on his lid.
Upside down.
Literally upside down.
Yeah, and it's impressive how I think is the tires caught. I see that with how stiff the frame was, the tires caught and up and away he went. So.
Yep. So unfortunate there for John, but that's going to bring us back under caution. The 8 laps remaining in this thing, so it's going to be a pretty big shootout to the end here. Logan and Ian have been very, very tight with one another, but at the same point, Ian's, I think, somewhat had the upper hand and been able to somewhat keep Logan at bay.
Yeah, so that's kind of been your duel, really, between Blanchard and the car of Rourke. And Leonardi is also in this one, as well as Kyle Gilbert. Gilbert, he had found himself kind of in some trouble, and courtesy of this, he got himself worked out. So we'll have to see here as you're watching on your screen the last restart there. This is
well, we're watching the current restart right now.
The current restart right now.
They're coming to 7 to go as they're somewhat catching Cam out. They come across stripe, 7 laps left. Kyle Vincent Gilbert, he caught the inside tire just a moment. One of the old school ways of forming barriers is I think we might have got another caution. There's a big stack up from your leaders.
Yeah. They're holding up. I don't think they were happy with the start. So they're going to get themselves sorted out. Or one car got turned around, I think, as it might have been Jeffrey Patterson. Look at the replay right now. Yes, 2 cars. Ooh, one heavily into the wall there. That's enough to bring out a caution, as that car also ended up on his lids. So 2 dirt cars we put on their lids today.
Yeah, definitely not good for these feature events, or excuse me, for these B main events, but all in all, everyone getting their transfer spots in regardless, so not going to be losing too much, as I believe we'll have 7 laps remaining.
All right, 7 to go here, as Ian Blanchard is going to be looking to continue to defend from Rourke, and for Rourke, time is going to be ticking out. So tick-tock, as here we go. As Blanchard, he goes, and we are green here at Limaland.
Still green, as Ian is going to try to maintain this race lead over Logan Rourke. He'll be able to start 7th in this one tonight through corners number 3 and 4. Coming to 6 to go. Now, so 6 laps left in this one. 17 car throws it down to the inside, not quite able to get there, as Ian's doing a good job maintaining the lead. A little bit of a stack up behind between Michael and KT, but they keep it rolling, and we're going to stay green. Going to be 5 to go this time through.
Yeah, and here comes Rourke. Once again, he is trying everything that he can. He does not want to shove, but you know what? It's only a matter of time before he starts getting there. He works his way up the track, and these guys are running completely different lines, Randy.
All over the place with these guys. Some people trying the bottom, others trying the top. 17 car, big
there
move for the race lead, and he's going to hook himself. Congratulations, 17. You played yourself going for that race lead, and, well, I think Ian's going to like that a lot as he keeps himself out in front.
They pulled it up under caution here, so that means that we're under yellow. What, 2 to go, 3 to go, most likely. And for Blanchard,
3 laps.
3 laps to go, so we're going to have a 3-lap shootout. Blanchard really had nothing to do there, Randy. Car just kind of pulled on in on him and went for it.
Yeah, Ian did nothing wrong there in my eyes. The 17 car was sort of alongside coming off 2, but took a big run down that back straightaway and really tried to slot it down on the inside, and, well, nowhere to go, and that ends up sending him around. So Ian, he's going to be in command of this one. I think we're going right now.
Yep, looks like it. 1 Mississippi count from Ian Blanchard, the number 2 machine. We are good to go. So 3 laps remaining here. The number 2 machine now has another competitor, Zach Leonardi. Leonardi trying to pick up exactly where the other car left off, and we are going green here at Limaland.
2 laps left, and Ian's trying to just maintain this race lead. Some close racing behind. Leonardi gets a run. This is going to be his opportunity as he heads down to the inside in 3 and 4. Ian Blackcar going to try to drive it back underneath them, side by side at the white.
And 2 cars are around, so we'll see if they pull the yellow out. But Blanchard, he's got it, as he looks like he holds up for just a second as Leonardi takes the position. As the cars are continuing to fight their way around, so Zach Leonardi, he's the one that is in charge. He has got the lead, and Gilbert is running on over Blanchard. So I believe that in that last lap there was a bobble from the 2 that allowed Leonardi to get by.
Good hard racing from everybody there. They're going to form up on the back straightaway to get your final running order. Zach Leonardi in the 24. We're going to be stood by with him. Cam Walsh is going to be stood by with him. Winner of your B main.
Yeah, so Zach Leonardi, Ian Blanchard, Kyle Vincent, and Logan Rourke, Kevin Forcier, KT King, Michael Charette. So that is going to be Zach Leonardi. Zach, how you doing? You only led like a couple of laps, and, well, they were the couple that mattered. You got the victory here in the B main.
Yeah, man, I was feeling pretty good about it. Been having some pretty bad internet problems. I'm hoping I got it fixed. Otherwise, this feature's gonna be a little bit tough, but didn't get to heat race or qualify or nothing. So I got some practice earlier. Felt pretty confident, so I was pretty glad with the result there. Track conditions real tricky right now. I just had to let Ian mess up, or it was really just gonna be who messes up right here. But once track slicks up, I think the race is gonna be really good.
Yeah, and, well, just kind of take me through this Limaland circuit. Of course, brand spanking new here, quarter mile. Clay, it seemed pretty tricky going out there. A lot of off-throttle, on-throttle play. What are your thoughts on the track so far?
Well, I mean, I think right now, I've run a few of these hosted races here. It's my favorite track on iRacing right now, but this iRacing's the fixed setup and the way the track's real slimy right now. It's just really, really hard to make a run on somebody because that bottom's the dominant lane, but if you get down there real too hard, you'll straighten up real bad and push up the racetrack. Like that's what happened with Ian there when I got by him, so you just got to be real careful with it. But I think once this bottom starts slicking up, you can run through it a little bit better, and once the top gets a cushion, it's going to be some really good racing.
Well, we're definitely going to look forward to that 100 laps on the docket, but we've got the trophy dash before then. So anyway, you'd like to give a shout out to or think before we let you go?
I'll just give a plug to my little design business on iRacing, Leonardo Race Designs. I can do a wrap for you. Send me a PM or an email, exactly24@gmail.com. If you see through the field, I did DJ Kalinowski's car in this race.
Well, all right, Zach, thank you so very much for hopping in the race spot with us, and we'll see you. Good luck in the A-Main.
Thank you.
So with that, Randy, we had a B-Main. We had some issues. We saw some spinning. Hopefully these guys got themselves sorted out. I think they wanted to get the track a little bit. We have the trophy dash on the docket shortly. Only a couple of laps, and Randy, I mean, it's a trophy dash. For those that might not know at home, kind of take us through it.
Well, it's a little bit different from normal. In trophy dashes in real life, I don't believe they generally use it as a qualifier, at least in my experience. But for purpose that it serves in this league, at least, it is actually a qualifying race. Normally, a trophy dash in real life, you go out, you win a nice little trophy, maybe get to kiss the trophy girl. All the fans cheer for you. Yeah, maybe get a bit of money.
Nobody cheers for you. They're all getting food.
Yes, here it's everyone is the top two from the heat races, and depending on how many heats there are, tonight there was 3. I've seen as many as 6 in the past. So you send all those guys out there, and they fight for that many starting positions up in the field. And you also come with an invert, and we're going to have an invert of 5 this evening. And our trophy dash is going to be Austin Carr and Austin Silliman out in front, Dan Smolders and Greg Thompson in second, with Jason Minot and Connor Parisi on that third row. So 6 cars will be slinging around this place, and that's going to be a very, very exciting trophy dash to watch.
It's only a couple of laps. That's the big thing. It's a dash. It's not a race. Those are 2 different terms. So either way, these guys are going to get themselves sorted out and ready to rock and roll. As just waiting for the B-Main guys to get off the racing surface. So let's get them off and get the trophy dash rolling. And see, right now they're just sorting out through the A-Main. You'll see it says 105 laps. Well, it's 100 laps. We give it a couple laps to them to sort everything out. And then after that, we are going green as always. But we got to get that trophy dash going. So, Randy, just kind of the racing that we saw, a little bit sketchy. But as they were saying, as Leonardo was saying earlier, once the track slickens off, it's going to kind of change exactly how people are driving this thing.
Yeah, when this track starts to get slick, things are going to change up quite a bit with the way these guys approach it. Finally get the B-Main guys off as they have the finishing results there. Michael Charlotte seems to not want to get off the racetrack, so hopefully that changes in a moment, but we should be getting the guys for the dash out there and going soon.
I think right now they're just sorting out the A-Main starting order. So let's see what we can do here. Let's take a look at that pit crew guy. Zoom in nice and slow on him there, as he is wearing black overalls, turquoise pants. You can see he's got his safety helmet on, of course, with the iRacing logo on. Don't know why he's really here. He's a bit overdressed for being rude, if I'm honest. Well, I mean, he's got the stick to stop as if they're going to be doing a pit stop, and I don't know if anyone's actually told me. You think he's the new guy? You said when he come, he's like the equivalent of Hugo when you were brought him over there. The other guys, see, the other 2 guys are laughing.
You know, Cam, I wouldn't trust you with a stick.
The other 2 guys are sitting over there laughing like, oh my god, I can't believe he believed us. Anyways, trophy dash cars coming out on the racetrack right now. So hey, just that pogo stick guy there. They're like, hey, when the car comes into pit, you gotta hold the stick in front of them so they know when to stop, even though nobody's told them that they don't do pit stops. So with that, let's get the running order here for the trophy main the trophy dash, as Randy had alluded to earlier. It's Jason Minot, Greg Thompson, Dan Smolders, Austin Selman, Austin Carr, Connor Parisi. So let's get these cars out onto the racing track. And Randy, how aggressive do you really want to be?
I mean, you're guaranteed a top 3 row starting spot anyways, so you don't need to be fully aggressive, but at the same time, you're guaranteed to spot in the top three, start in the top three rows. Might just sling it out there and try to hoon it your way to the front. You're going to have 12 laps in this one.
Your way to the front. 12 laps here in the Trophy Dash. So more laps than a heat. So either way, let's take a look here. Jason Manette, they get themselves sorted out. They should be going green this time by, of course, with our sponsors. That is CMF Motors Electrics. That is, of course, your title sponsor. Dirtco Media Housen, Down Under Graphics, as they're going green next time by. And we'd, of course, like to thank you all for tuning in here on RaceSpotTV iRacing Live, as your leaders are electing to drive into their door panels. And here we go. Green flag will be coming as we get ready to go. The number 14 machine, that black and purple machine, he's got the trigger. He's got his right foot on all those ponies underneath the hood of that super dirt late model. And here we go as we got the Trophy Dash coming to you. Was a 2 Mississippi County outside guy, hit right on him. Let's see if they wave the restart or get it to go here. I think, nope, we're gonna go stay green.
We're staying green. Dan Smolders had that race lead for a moment, but Greg Thompson wants it back. But Dan's going to get a good run off of 4 as we come to lap number 2 of 12. Now 14 machine trying to recover of Jason Mina after that terrible restart where he got hooked. But Dan Smolders is out in front and he's checking out.
The terrible start, not terrible restart, but yes. And if you're Dan Smolders, I mean, hey, take it if you can get it. If they start and they have a bobble and they give you the room, I suppose, hey, pin it and go, as Greg Thompson now secured second in that 313. Number 14 to Jason Minette is currently right now in third. Connor Parise running fourth, then it's Carr and then Semmelman. So cars are running through in single file right now except for Parise. Parise, he wants inside line.
So working lap 4 of 12 right now as they head across into lap number 5. Greg Thompson trying to reel in Dan, but Dan is doing a good job to stretch this lead. Jason Minette cycled in the third spot side by side for fourth, as Austin Carr is going to pick that up from Connor Parisi. As in towards 1 and 2, they're going to go once again.
So Dan Smolders has checked out as he wants to see if he can start the race there. As Greg Thompson, currently we're running halfway, is in second. It's Minette and Carr wants a bet of that number 14 machine. Randy, cars are running pretty strong, I think, right now in that for second, third, and fourth. These guys better be careful, though. I think the track, meanwhile, continuing to grow in.
Track's continuing to evolve. We're going to have 100 laps on the board tonight, so it's going to evolve even more. We've got some track work before we transferred over to this session, so not as bumpy as it once was, but the fight's getting on up in front. Jason Minette, he wants that second spot back, and I think he pretty much made it 2 for 1 there as he drove around both Greg Thompson and Austin Carr, and they're going to head towards 3 laps to go in towards 1 and 2.
So Dan Smolders right now, your leader in that number 99 machine, the orange and black car with the blue highlights, as he comes through the corners right now here at Limaland Motorsports Park, as we should be getting pretty close to the end here, I'd have to say.
Lap and a half left.
Lap and a half left. So it's Jason Minette, Austin Carr, Greg Thompson, Austin Selman, and Connor Parisi. So it's 1 lap to go here in the Trophy Dash. 12 times around the circuit we have gone, and Dan Smolders is going to come off of corner number 4, Victor, here at the ADS Trophy Dash. So Smolders, you've got yourself a Dash trophy.
I don't know why, but that was just funny to me. But yeah, nice, clean race there amongst the race leaders, as these guys, work their way out in front and get themselves cycled in on the back straightaway. 313 machine says, you know what, I don't need to be parked up against that wall. I'm going to be spending a lot of time up there, but with this cushion and whatnot. But, well, these guys out in front, Cam, they seem relatively good, keeping it off one another, and the first handful of guys in the B main as well. But we're going to have to really be careful, I think, with some of the guys near the back of the pack. We had a lot of cautions in that B main, and we put 100 laps on the board, only a quarter-mile oval, and you put all these guys on track at once. We're going to see lap traffic become a factor very, very quickly tonight.
We are going to see what we call in the business, quote, fun, end quote. So we've got Dan Smolders.
Can't give him that insider information.
Well, I have to. So Dan,
Congratulations, you won the trophy dash. Take me through the start of that race. That was a bit sketchy.
Oh, it was very sketchy. I don't know what happened there between the 14 and 313. I just seen an opening on the bottom and I went for it.
Yeah, and you ended up getting the position, and you never looked back. Car looks pretty strong right now. Are you liking the Limaland circuit so far?
Oh, I love Limaland. Just with the fresh track, this fixed setup is so tight.
Well, either way, you're going to be looking to have a pretty good start here in the A-Main. You looking for forward to the next 100 laps here?
Oh yeah, always looking forward. Hopefully we got something for him at the end there.
All right, Dan, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to or a thank you before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to thank the RNCI Racing Wraps for designing this beautiful car for me, Performance Fiberglass and Marine, and Smolders Kart Shop.
All right, Dan Smolders, thanks very much for hopping in the booth with us. Good luck in the A-Main.
Thank you, guys.
So that's Dan Smolders, your Trophy Dash winner here for number 6 at Limaland, the American Dirt Series Late Models Edition. Get these cars all sorted out, ready. We are going to go take a advertising break, but we will be right back with the feature main here from Limaland Motorsports Park. You're watching RaceSpotTV, iRacing Live. Don't go anywhere.
Crazy controlled. They're missing each other by an inch, sliding each other. I mean, they know what they're doing, and it's poetry in motion.
There's a fine line between great focus and obsession, and you got to make sure that you're still in the right side of that line where it doesn't start inhibiting your performance when you get here.
You have to know where the edge is, and a lot of times we go over it.
When I was 16 years old, I was working in a Goodyear tire store, and my boss actually built an old dirt car, street stock Monte Carlo. Went with him one night, fell in love with it. It was a hell of a race, hell of a party, and a big fight afterwards. I was like, this is it for me. It wasn't long after that, I was driving an old 78 Camaro out of the weeds at that guy's farm. We pulled that thing out and made a race car out of it, and away we went. You know, I think a driver has more to do with the equation going back and racing dirt, whether it's a modified, a late model. You can do more with the race car. You know, the harder you drive it, a lot of times, the better it goes. You can crawl up on that wheel and feel like you made the difference at the end of the night. Asphalt car, you can't overdrive them. Well, that was the first thing that I had to learn right off the bat is, oh my gosh, I've got to discipline myself, not overdrive this thing, and that's how you get the most out of it. Truth be told, communicating the right information to your crew and your crew chief so they can do their job and make their appropriate adjustments for you to go faster and do your job is probably 90% of the game in our world. I've always loved late models. You know, my dream was to be a late model driver driving for a living across the country like Daryl and Don do that drive for me. I mean, that was, truth be told, that was my dream, you know. I always wanted a semi. I always wanted a stacker trailer with 2 hot rods in it and let's go racing. Let's take off with your buddies and go race and chase that dream. Never in a million years did I think it would turn into a Cup Series, and I actually have an opportunity to own 2 dirt late model teams. When you think of iRacing, you don't think of a video game. It's not. It's way above and beyond any of that You know, dirt racing changes so much, the track changes so much. Being able to capture that, to, you know, experience all those details that surround dirt racing and make dirt racing what it is what makes iRacing so cool, because they did nail all of that. I knew when they came to our shop and scanned cars and went to the detail of getting that car right, I knew that it was going to be over the top, because it blew my mind just the work that went into making sure the car itself was legit. This sport has been around a long time. The competition can't be replaced, and that's what brings people back to the racetrack week in and week out. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope you are ready for a treat. 100 laps around Limaland Motorsports Park here on iRacing Live, RaceSpotTV. I'm Cameron Walsh, that's Randy Chenault, and that, my friends, is Hugo Louis, CMF Motors Electronics, Dirt Co. Mediahausen, Down Under Graphics, King of Dirt, Southern Indiana Lawn Care, Shiloh Forestry, Feeder 1934, round of sponsors for the American Dirt Series, round number 6. How you doing? As you can see, the pace truck's rolling. Do not be alarmed. We are going to go quote green, and they're going to sort themselves out, get themselves into position. Then we're going to have a 100-lap run. So, Randy, well, it's 100 laps on an extraordinarily small circuit with massive 2,200-pound super dirt cars. What could go wrong?
These aren't super dirt cars.
Oh my goodness, they're super late models. Excuse me, super cars on the dirt. Yeah, anyways.
Not even that. These don't have sequential gearboxes. They have V8s, but
they're super late models.
Well, but they're not super cars.
Whatever. Anyways, Hugo is continually pointing out that we're showing the grid. So it's Dan Smulders, Jason Hine, Austin Carr, Greg Thompson, Austin Sullivan, Connor Parise, Terry Renner, Brad Dwyer, Troy Wagaman, and Zach Leonardi. But we got to get ourselves into that order, so that's going to take a minute. As the music can be faded away, please.
Oh, this solo's legit. This solo's legit.
I don't even care at this point. Probably this song is just grown on me the least out of all of the songs.
That's the one you wanted us to use when we went through the music.
Yeah, I know.
A year
it was
ago.
the grid. It was the grid song. That was it. And now we use it for Lego. Anyways, so we're gonna get these boys all sorted out. But meanwhile, Randy, if you're one of these cars, these 20 machines, get ready to rock and roll here. What's your strategy?
Put it to the floor, work my way forward, and hope to God I can make it 100 laps to the end.
All right, well, that's fair. Do you try to be aggressive at the start while the track's still good?
Yes. You take any opportunity you think you can get. We know that these setups are tight starting out, and we know that this track, over 100 laps, is going to get really, really slick. I would try to make up some spots, especially if you're not comfortable up top. Try to make up spots while you can before that cushion comes in up top, because the cushion is the quick way around right now on the dirt tracks on the sim. Try to pick up spots if you're not comfortable up there before it becomes too much of a factor.
Yeah, you get that traction, these tires really get you rocketing. So it looks like the field is gonna be ready to go. So it's gonna be Dan Smulders, Jason Minot, Austin Carr, Greg Thompson, Austin Selman, Connor Parisi. Your top 6 in the trophy dash. They're your top 6 starting here. So let's see if we can get this show on the road next time by. As we have just crossed the 5-lap mark, which means we've got 100 laps to go, which is coincidental that we're about to run a 100-lap feature. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for making RaceSpotTV iRacing Live part of your day. And we appreciate it. American Dirt Series appreciates it. We appreciate you. Anyways, Dan Smulders, he's got it pinned to the floor. We are green here at Limaland.
100 laps, and here we go through 1 and 2 for the first time. Dan Smulders already under attack for that race lead from Jason Minot. They head down in towards 3 and 4. That 99 machine rep in the bottom, 14 car up along the top. It's going to be the 99 who leads them that first time through here. As they head down towards this back straightaway, and Dan's going to be able to get clean. He needs to try to break away as they're side by side, basically up and down the entire field.
Yeah, as one car almost looks sideways, he gets himself sorted out as they step themselves up high side.
Secondary incident with Michael. Yep, we're going to stay green, but I thought things were going to get really bad as that car slid down in front of some traffic, but everyone did a good job avoiding there, so sorry to interrupt, Cam. How rude of me.
Oh, you're fine. But I will say the track is getting dusty, and I am in heaven with with the dust. It needs to get dustier because that is just, I'm so used to the
fact that we can see the track. It's just terrible.
I know, it is awful. So fix it. I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that has got to be really tricky to commentate. So Dan Smolder's your leader. Minat, Carr, Semmelman, and Thompson. Semmelman, he's only moved up a little bit as Parisi has found himself sliding back. That's kind of where your action's going to stick. Zach Leonardi, the winner of your B main there, he is finding himself attacking Connor Parise as they work themselves through. Already the track seems to be getting annihilated. As it turns out, Randy, when you have more than 6 cars on the track, it wears in really quick.
Yeah, that's the big thing. They're going to be almost 3 wide down the front straight between Terry Runner, Connor Parisi, and Zach Leonardi. See, Terry, he said in the chat earlier that he didn't really like running the top. Well, he's having to do it right now. Doesn't quite get it up to the wall the way he did in 1 and 2, but still so much good dirt up there that he's basically just slinging that car sideways and then stomping on that go pedal. As Zach Leonardi and Connor Parisi both still trying to work their way forward as well. Out in front, things are relatively calmed down. It's basically just Dan Smolder's a pretty big lead, and then second, third, and fourth.
Oh,
car up, caution.
I was watching the leader, and I just saw a rear-facing car zooming in the other direction. So Dan Smolder's woes himself up, and he's not going to be happy about that one. He had a big lead. Replay on your screen right now Michael Charette there. But close call from Dan Smolders. Could have swore I think he got a bit taken out of him there. Yeah, just a bit. So, anyways, he got himself, there's the replay, just got himself a little high, slings it way too high, checks himself into the outside wall, and then after that it was done, and a little bit of a nip I don't think they touched. But Randy, good running I think, but I will say this track is substantially changing.
It is. It's the fact that it's a quarter-mile track and the fact that you run so many laps on this place means that surface is going to just move around a lot because you get more laps done. And the other thing we get, Cam, because of the short distance, super, super quick. Cautions, lights are out. We're going green next time. Bye.
Oh, yeah. Pace truck going to be pulling into the infield one more time. As we got to remember, this is a 2,200-pound car, and when you punch that throttle, it moves dirt. As Dan Smolders moves some dirt of his own just for a moment, and he gets the whole shot. We're green here at Limaland.
So Dan, he had a nice little race lead there going for himself, and he's not going to be too happy to have the field reset, especially when you have Austin Carr hounding you into 3 and 4. A bit of a stack up behind, and this is going to bring the yellow back out. Terry Rennert's involved. Another car's up there in the wall. Who is that? The 15 of DJ Kilinowski. Terry the Nerd Renner. I think that car may have just gotten killed, but I think he is sort of partially the cause of that one as he got into the back of Mr. Greg Thompson with the I'm Your Huckleberry quote on that rear spoiler. So which one is the question is going to be Ringo Starr and which one's Doc Holliday? It's going to be Johnny Ringo, not Ringo Starr. Just
Goodbye, Randy. So thank you very much. He's back. Wow.
Guess who's back? Back again.
And now he's leaving again. Thanks, Randy, for joining us. We'll see. Anyways, so Hugo, the thing is that Randy, I think we got to congratulate ourselves here. Lights out on the pace truck. Hugo would be normally very angry with us, but he just expects this at this point now. So I think we've won.
I think we've won.
Yes.
We are the champions.
That's right. Pace truck pulling into pit lane. I don't know what's with you in music today. Dan Smolders, he lets it go. They actually started single file line. That was pretty cool there. So Dan Smolders, he's got the run car. He not too happy that they started single file because Smolders checked out.
Yeah, he really has. It is one of the things they do in this series is if the admins and if race control determines that the guys out there and cannot handle starting side by side, they will switch to single file restarts, and it's exactly what they've done. And look at this, we got a nice clean restart because of it.
Shocking. It's almost like that's why they do that. So either way, 3-wide action almost between Connor Parise, Zach Leonardi, and Greg Thompson. They figured themselves out, however. So Connor Parise there, he's going to hover the inside lines. Logan Rourke. Rourke had a great B main, but unfortunately just stuck in traffic back in 8th position here. It looks like we're getting another green flag run.
A bit of green flag racing here, which is always good to see. Close fight still here between likes of Parisi, Leonardi, Greg Thompson, Logan Rourke, all still involved here. Car up in the wall. That was Troy Wagaman as he got himself up there a little bit too high, and fights to be on between Leonardi and Parisi. Leonardi, I think, may have moved him out of the way just a little bit. Move that 24 car up a spot and move Connor back one. He's not going to be too happy with that, but he's got bigger fish to fry. Now the 313 of Greg Thompson's having a look down on the bottom.
And here comes Rourke as well. They were 3 wide for just a hair as Parise tries to run high side. He hits the wall as he's not going to have a fun time with that, but he recovers. That's the thing with this short track. Even if you completely botch it, as long as you get back on that throttle and straighten the car out, Randy, it typically works out. And there goes Rourke. He takes a nasty bite out of the rear of Parisi, but he keeps going.
Connor's getting bumped around a little bit. I'm used to seeing Bobby Zielinski when we see Connor Parisi on track be the one getting bumped around, but now it's Connor's turn as that car I don't think has a straight body panel on it anymore. He's going to head down the back straightaway. 17 car of Logan Rourke still hounding him on the inside. This track's looking really racy right now. Cushion update working nicely. A little bit of contact from that 17 car. And again, like Cam just said, as long as you can get it somewhat loaded up, because the average speeds are so slow, Cam, these guys are only hitting about 90, 92 miles an hour at the end of the straightaways. You don't lose nearly as much ground at a place like, say, Eldora, where you're pretty much running 110, 120 all the way around. The lift doesn't cost you nearly as much as these places.
I mean, Connor, he's running about 100 right before he gets off. So I've seen him hit 100 both times now. So the track might be quickening up a little bit as long as they're running that high line. But Parisi, of course, has also been hitting the outside wall, which he does right then and there, and that's allowing Rourke to go through. So we follow along with this battle. Your leader, meanwhile, is still Smolders. And Smolders is in lap traffic, and he has got to get around it. He's got Patterson to get around. His car is trying to catch him.
So he's going to be able to put that first car lap down. Patterson finds the wall a little bit. That 5 machine trying to work the lap traffic. Austin not going to be nearly as efficient getting through the first time as Jeff Patterson's moved up to the top now, and I think is officially through. Now he's got it done as Patterson unfortunately tags that wall on the outside. And the thing is, Cam, is we're still talking about 70 laps to go in this race, and they're already hitting lap traffic. This is about to be a busy run for these race leaders.
Yeah, now this is as far as trying to follow a real-life dirt race, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to it, because once the gap closes, it closed, and now you've got to be you've got to have your favorite car out there, and you've got the guy that you picked, and you follow them along, and you try to hold on to dear life. We're pretty lucky here in that it's not the 99 car leading from the 99 car leading from the 99 car from leading from the 99 car like we do constantly here in New York, because everyone really likes the car, the number 99. Don't know why.
Well, it's the 99X and the 99V and the 99W and the 90, yeah.
So we don't have that, thankfully, but we do have a 99 leading, actually, and Carr is trying to chase him down, and they've got lap traffic of Kyle Gilbert. And the other thing, Randy, is these guys are going to be fighting each other pretty soon.
Yeah, they really are. As you see that 99 machine, he's going to go to the bottom, try to make something happen on Kyle Vincent Gilbert, but Kyle actually gets the wall. Going to do his best to recover. Does a good job of doing so, but finds the wall again. Climbs that wall a bit. That car is not going to be driving very nice, and I would not be surprised if you see that 227 car head down towards the safety of pit road, because that thing's going to be killed. His next car to go a lap down will be Terry Renner.
Godzilla took a bite out of crime like Scruff McGruff took a bite out of crime. And there you go. There goes Gilbert rolling to the inside line. That was the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. That was, I think, released in 2005 on Newgrounds. Anyways, Kyle found his way to the pit lane, so good on him. So getting that car sorted out, and he is going to be getting it repaired or whatever they need to do with it. Wiggle a stick at it. Hey, the stick guy wiggled it at it. That's what happens, and he's good to go. But right now we've got.
You said he was worthless.
I know. I'm sorry. I take it back, stick guy. As he goes around Kenny Runner, or at least he's trying to. But what I meant with these guys battling, he's coming upon lap traffic that is going to be fighting for position. That really is when things get interesting, because these guys don't really feel like letting the leaders by. It's not like there's a blue flag rule. I mean, if they do get angry enough, they will race control dictate that people will, be allowed to get by, especially if they're going slow. But you can't just come up upon these guys battling and get them through. Okay, Randy was playing music. I don't know why. But anyways, I don't know what's going on with Randy. So it's just me now. So it's Dan Smollers, Austin Carr, Austin Selman, Zach Leonardi, Jason Minat, Greg Thompson, Logan Rourke, TJ Kilinowski, Connor Parise, Kevin Forcier, Ian Blanchard. If somebody goes way too hard, it was Zach Leonardi, the 24 machine. He goes to the inside. Austin Selman was able to get around. He goes to the inside now. As here comes Austin Carr. He's trying to get himself worked through, but he gets stalled. And that was for position. So right now, Selman second and Leonardi's third. Scratch that, rattle that around, give us some numbers again. It's Leonardi now running in the second position with Carr in third and Semmelman in second as they're working their way through now. Troy Wagaman is going to be the car that is the lap car looking to get through, but Wagaman's trying to get around Brad Dwyer meanwhile. So busy as we are live here with the American Dirt Series. I'm Racing Live, RaceSpotTV, as Randy has disappeared. So hopefully we can get him sorted out and back in here. But meanwhile, oh boy, water fell onto his keyboard. So I have... What? Randy, what?
We just call the race cam. I got problems. Just call the race.
You got problems coming out of Flores. Evan Pasoko would say, but Zach Leonardi has got problems of his own. He's getting around Brad Dwyer. Here comes Austin Carr to the inside line. Austin Selman on the outside of Brad Dwyer has made the pass as these lead guys are trying to get their way through any way they can. As your leader has checked out 2.9 seconds at the line here. We're on lap 50. It'll be 48 to go here as we are running strong. Smolder's gotten around the top 10 so far. And Randy, we've had great racing so far. And thankfully, we basically got to that point where the entire track is encirculated by cars.
Yeah, it's basically constantly lapping going here. But a very nice run. If only my dexterity was just as nice. Sorry for the surprise peak music, everybody, but that's what happens when you spill water on your keyboard mid-broadcast and quickly try to unplug it before the fire starts. As Dan Smollers, he's out to a dominating lead right now, Cam. 2.1 seconds.
It's not. Water doesn't start fire. Anyways, 15 and the 11.
The Bear told me.
DJ Kilinowski and Connor Parise. I'm pretty sure Smokey would tell you don't put water in your keyboard either, as DJ Kilinowski's gotten the position over not over Brad Dwyer, but they're trying to get around Brad Dwyer. They're both in the wall. As Connor Parise looks down to the picture here, all of these late models are looking like their real life counterparts, because they are just getting so battered right now. And that outside wall here at Limaland Motorsports Park, as Connor Parise is trying so hard to work it. And look at how the rubbered in this racetrack's getting, Randy. Very impressive to see this track and how these guys are adapting their run to it.
Track is really changing up here, and DJ Kilinowski, see him not liking the top, and look at the speed you can carry on the cushion of the 15 car, runs it through the slick, and then he immediately finds the wall. Connor Parise throws it right down to the bottom, tries to make it stick, and the 15 car gets it in the wall. We got another car in the wall. Who is that?
That's your 14 car, Jason Minat. That was your 6th position car. He tried to straighten himself out. It's what you don't do. Hold the brake, hold the brake, hold the brake. And he did not. And the front end of his machine was removed by
Zach Leonardi.
Let's see here. Oh, by Zach Leonardi. So, and actually the number 5 machine took a bit of that. That's Austin Carr, your 3rd running car. So Anyways, we're under yellow, but Dan Smolders, I mean, if you're Dan, how many hard lucks can you get here? He pulls a gap every time, and it just catches right up to him.
Yeah, he's not going to be too happy, I think, for Dan Smolders, but at the same time, he's had such a dominating performance, such a dominating lead, that I don't think he can really afford to be too upset with this caution. Not a lot of laps left in this thing. We're only gonna have what, 31 laps remaining, 32 laps remaining. We go back to green. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm not good at math.
That's okay. That's why I look at the production screen. So anyways, pace track pulls in. Dan Smolders lets go. We're green here. He hits a tire, so will that allow Leonardi to run the outside line? Let's find out here. We're green at Limaland. Yes, there you go. There's an incident.
Oh, five machine.
Yep, there's your incident. So that was your second place car, or your third place car, and your fourth place car electing to become your 14th place car and 15th place car.
Ooh, that one's a tough one to call, I have to say. I think that Austin was there, and I think Austin Semmelman was there up along the top, and I think that 5 machine of Austin car kind of came up on him, and basically the 5 machine, in my eyes, kind of turned himself. I don't see much Semmelman could have really done there.
Well, I mean, he probably should have backed out. It's a restart, but it's, they both had there was a self-punishing punishment, so there's really nothing they're going to be doing there. Pace track rounding everybody up again. So let's see here. And if you were Dan Smolders, now you're really shooting yourself there. You're really, smacking yourself on top of the thigh, because the cars directly behind you wrecked, and you had a massive gap. Well, now they're all right behind again, and we're going to start single file.
The thing is, though, that they removed a couple of the biggest competitors, I think, from that number 99 machine of Dan Smolders, so I don't think he's going to be too upset. Lights are out. We're going back to green already.
Dan Smolders, he's ready to rock and roll, so here we go. Dan Smolders, the 99 machine, he has got the green, and Greg Thompson's going to try to chase him down. Logan Rourke has found himself on the scene. 1 car is around. That's Ian Blanchard. Yellow is out, and he's collected somebody.
Let's see, Ian, and who did he collect?
Not sure, but Ian's still getting his car around. I believe Austin Semmelman will be getting an end-of-line penalty. He was ruled to be bringing out that one, as Blanchard was spun around there. And he collected, it was unlucky number John Literal, as he found himself getting a nice, lovely little bite out of that machine. So, Randy, this middle section, not doing too good.
Yeah, this isn't looking great, is it? We had a couple nice long green flag runs through the start, but I think guys are starting to get a little bit too impatient here, trying to make things happen when they don't need to be. Everyone just needs to give himself a little bit of time. Still got plenty of time left. 30 laps to go as they come across the stripe right now. Be patient with one another. We still have a sprint car feature to go in this. I mean, we could end up with, you don't want to look like the sprint car guys from Friday nights, do you?
You watch yourself, mister. As Dan Smolders, he is getting ready to go green. Yes, we are. So off and away he goes. As him and Greg Thompson, somebody is up in the hole.
Connor Parisi. We got another car around as well. Caution again. It is turning into dirt night.
Well, the thing is, these guys are spinning. It's not a huge incident. It's just, I think what's happening is that these guys were able to lean on each other a lot. And now that the track is rubbered in, the tires aren't catching the cars in mid-slide. So now they are actually spinning around instead of saving.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's pretty much what we're seeing here. Is but it's still Cam, though. It's coming as a result of car contact. So the way I see it, people still just being over aggressive out there. People just gotta take a chill pill, or you're gonna just end up handing this one to Dan Smolders and not ever have a chance to pick up spots, because you spend the entirety of the race pretty much under yellow.
Yeah, so we're gonna get ourselves ready to go to green this time by. I'd like to point out, if we can just go to we're gonna go green. So I can't point out a track feature I've noticed. So we're getting ready to roll to the green flag one more time. 26 to go. So how will this one play out, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? American Dirt Series green once again here at Limaland.
Back to green. Dan Smolders working out in front. Big move coming from behind. 5 car of Austin Cart He made a move on DJ Kilinowski. Didn't work out, though, as he's seeing everyone up around the top, Cam, and that's the big thing with the cushion update. Some drivers like it, others don't, is that you got to run right up against the wall. It is a huge cushion that forms. You see everyone. You can visibly see the back of the car raise up a couple inches. It's a pretty big change once we get like this up around the top.
Couple of cars diving to the inside. One of them's Austin Carr, the other's Austin Selman. So the Austins are trying to work their way through. DJ Kilinowski, Logan Rourke there. He is trying to cover third. Greg Thompson, he is just high enough as they work themselves through cautions out. Brad Dyer is upside down. Brad Dyer is upside down.
Is that the third time we've seen him upside down tonight?
Twice, I think. No, I'm not sure. Yeah, actually he was. He was upside down. Actually, and you know what? Oh, he had some help with that one.
Yeah, and a little bit of help with Connor Parisi. What actually happened to Connor?
Nothing happened to Connor.
Yeah, Connor was just slowed through 3 and 4, yeah.
Well, he held up because Kevin Forcier held up, and I don't think they're used to running that low, so I don't think the track was worn in, so they weren't used to gripping.
Yep, I think so. I think that's the big one, as another car ends up upside down for the second time tonight. No, he called it off, and yeah, third time tonight, second or third, one of the two. But regardless, Cam, we've lost almost half this field and not a lot of time.
Yeah, and so cautions are quick here, however. So let's get ourselves ready to go. Lights are out once again. American Dirt Series, late models, fingers crossed, 19 to go now. So we're getting pretty close to that B main. Pace truck pulls on and Dan Smulders. Once again on the restart, he's got Greg Thompson to worry about. Logan Rourke is your number 3. We're green here at Limaland Motorsports Park.
Oh, up in the wall goes Greg Thompson trying to run that cushion, and that's what we've been talking about. It is easily the quickest way around the track right now, but very easy to get it wrong. 5 car of Austin Carr, he makes the same mistake, just a little bit of tap on the wall. The 17 machine gets it way wrong. They're going to be 3 wide on a quarter-mile racetrack through 1 and 2, and DJ Kilinowski is the one who gets shoved out.
Yeehaw! I believe that's the term that we use there, is Logan Rourke. He is trying, you can see how much of a bump is DJ Kilinowski is trying to hold on to dear life. Watch how the view completely disappears. Okay, well, let's go on board with Austin Carr as he chases down Logan Rourke. I want to prove a point here as he goes well to the inside line. He tries to get the car. He doesn't have it, but here he goes into the corner. Look at how much the car dips down as they run that cushion and then straightens out. You can actually see your opponent's car again. Very trippy, but you know what? Austin Carr knows his positioning. He's on the inside of Logan Rourke.
Logan just tried to work the bottom, but it didn't quite pan out as he tried to make a move on Greg Thompson. And this is what we're talking about with this cushion. Can't really make anything stick on the bottom right now, Cam. Not at least for these front runners. They're going to be very, very comfortable up here running around the top. I think the interesting racing is going to come probably deeper down the field where these guys aren't quite as confident with running such narrow margins up tight to the wall. Austin Carr does another move on the 17 of Logan Rourke, but Logan does a good job cutting it to the bottom and getting to that throttle.
Track's opening up. It's getting fun. It's getting slippery here. Austin Selman, he wants to go, as he'll try to throw away to the inside, try to get a catch somewhere. But these guys are chasing dirt now, and that is the best time of dirt racing. I take everything I said back about the banking here because they made this place banked so much as somebody has a very hard time. They've gone around DJ Kilinowski. He's gone around. That's going to bring out a caution, unfortunately, with 10 to go. DJ Kilinowski caught the outside wall, and once he started hitting that outside wall, there was nowhere for him to go, and Jason Minat collected.
I think that 15 car is one of the ones who's really struggling to run this cushion because we saw him out front, but once it really got to this stage of the race, Cam, he's just sort of falling backwards, and he kind of had a decent chunk of it through the entry of the corner, but once he got to the midpoint, he kind of slid down to the middle and ended up basically whacking that outside wall and rode it all the way into turn 1, and unfortunately for him, ended up collecting that 14 machine of Jason Minat, who was, I think Jason, the last 4 cautions, has gotten a piece of that. And he's, at no point was he ever anywhere a part of the initial caution.
Yeah, and he has retired his machine, so Jason done for the day. We're going to start single file as the pace truck is getting ready to pull to the safety of pit lane. As we're getting ready, this should be at 7 laps to go. American Dirt Series, round number 6, here at Limaland Motorsports Park. Thank you very much for joining us. I've been Cameron Walsh, that's been Randy Chenout, that's been Hugo Louis. Let's settle it. Will Dan Smulders take the victory here? Let's find out. We are green at Limaland.
Green for possibly the last time. 313 Greg Thompson going to toss his hat in the ring down to the bottom. Can't make it stick. Austin Carr, he's going to try to make something happen for a second. Not going to be able to. And here comes the 22 machine of Austin Selman from the back. He wants fourth away from Logan Rourke.
I'm not sure he's going to get it, nor do I sure he'd have enough time. Austin Carr, he tries inside line. Greg Thompson has to recover the outside. He pulls to the inside now. About 313 versus 5 as they come through. Dan Smolders, he's going to pull away. So let's focus elsewhere. Austin Carr. Here comes Logan Rourke. He throws a slide job, and he pays the price for it. Greg Thompson straightens him out with his front bumper, but Logan Rourke, he's covering here. 4 to go.
People covering here and defending. Dan Smolders has a clear lead out in front, though. Here comes Greg throwing it down to the inside on Logan Rourke. Not going to make it happen. Selman's going to slip by up along the top. Couple laps remaining in this. As Austin Carr, he has a nice little buffer, but nowhere near close enough, I don't think, to reel in Dan Smolders with a 10th and a half last time. Maybe he can make Yellow's going to end it.
Terry Runner, he ended up having, he ended up getting collected. As I believe there was an incident, John Literal ended up packing them up. They were getting themselves sorted, and I think they would have had themselves sorted long before your leaders came, but unfortunately, back car facing on the back detects it, throws out the yellows. So that's going to be that. 105 laps ran, so Dan Smolders will take the victory here at Limaland. Under the yellow is Austin Carr. He'll come home in second, Logan Rourke in third. Randy, unfortunate end to this thing, but I got to tell you, we had some great racing.
I love this little Limaland track for these late models. I haven't seen it in any of the open wheel stuff. We'll be seeing it, of course, in the USAC as well as in the midgets at some point for Dirt Night with myself and Chris Hahn. But regardless, I love these little quarter-mile bull rings. This is American dirt track racing for 90% of the population, and I just love it.
Yeah, and I think on the official results, Dan ended up pulling in front of the pace truck before they, so he got his butt.
That's a rip.
Cleared, but I don't think it's going to matter because he's still going to be a victor. They're still going to do the points. They're still going to give the points to him and everything like that. So don't pass the pace truck.
He's still doing hot laps.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, well, he wants to race. So we'll get the results up on your screen right now. As it will say the guy who has won, but he didn't win. Dan Smolders is your winner. Austin Carr came home in second.
The guy who says one didn't win.
Yeah, it's so...
10 out of 10 official result.
That's how that goes. Greg Thompson comes home in what will be fourth position. Ian Blanchard, DJ Kalinowski, Dan Smolders won the race, but because he passed the racetrack, he got dropped down to sixth. Logan Rourke, Troy Wagman, Kevin Forcier, John, it is John Litterman there, thank you, Terry Renner, Scott Blowham, Jason Minat, Connor Parise, Brad Dyer, Zach Leonardi, Jeffrey Patterson, Kyle, Vincent Gilbert, Michael Charette, and then Blake Derflinger. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a show unlike you'll never see. And it was quite exciting to you and me. Round number 6 of the American Dirt Series Late Model Series comes to a close. We play the music. Oh, my goodness me. With that, we'll see if we can get our race winner here after we take a commercial break. We'll be right back with interviews. Don't go anywhere. Thank you so very much if you do.
Crazy controlled. They're missing each other by an inch, sliding each other. I mean, they know what they're doing, and it's poetry in motion.
There's a fine line between great focus and obsession, and you got to make sure that you're still in the right side of that line where it doesn't start inhibiting your performance when you get here.
You have to know where the edge is, and a lot of times we go over it.
Oh, well, come back. Here to Limaland Motorsports Park, the cars have gone quiet, but we have not, and neither has that guitar-y bed that they play. Just it keeps going. But either way, let's get our drivers in here. It's Dan Smolders, your race winner. Randy Chenoweth has departed. He has to go save his keyboard from apparently coastal flooding from a water bottle. I don't know. I didn't think they were allowed to have water in California, but that might have been years ago. Let's get Dan in here. The number 99 machine basically led the whole thing and managed to take the victory. So great for him. Good congratulations for that number 99. Thank you very much, Dan Smolders, your race winner, your feature winner after 100 laps at Limaland. Dan, how you feeling?
Oh, it feels great.
Yeah, it just seemed that we had a very good run. What was the lap traffic like? Because I can only imagine that was a difficult thing to deal with.
Oh yeah, it was difficult, but I had a decent lead at first, and then once I looked down and seen that they were catching up on me, I started to get a little more worried and started to get a little more aggressive.
Yeah, and then once the cautions started rolling, it just turned into Restart City. And how did the track evolve? It seemed to me like the track wore in super quick, and then once it got to a certain point, it really kind of took its own unique shape.
Yeah, if you weren't up on the cushion, you weren't going to be fast. It's simple. You could maybe run right down by the tires, but if you were running in that rubber, you'd just be spinning tires.
Yeah, and ultimately you came home with the checkered flag. So, of course, the floor is yours. Anything at all, and the floor is yours to thank your sponsors and congratulations.
Thank you. I want to thank the guys who put this race on. A lot of fun. And I want to thank Performance Fiberglass and Marine, Hammer Down iRacing Series, RNC iRacing Wraps, and Smolders Kart Shop.
All right, Dan Smolders, your race winner here, your feature winner, ladies and gentlemen, from Limaland, the American Dirt Series Late Models Division. Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And with that, we have Austin Carr, the number 5 machine, came home in the second position, despite what your results page told you. So the bright blue machine came home in number 2. Austin, how was your day?
It was pretty good till I got dumped. So what I'm gonna just start doing now is just running through people, because I guess that's the norm nowadays instead of checking up. But it was overall, we rebounded good. It was pretty cool to actually go like 60 green flag laps for once. That was pretty awesome. The track, you had to move around. Then the lap cars, I can't even explain what kind of catastrophe that was, because that was just insane. But overall, it was a good night, and we just, first time in this series, like the 3rd time running the late models, and they're fun. Definitely fun.
Yeah, the track doesn't normally get 100 laps on it, and this track, especially with how small it is, 2,200 pounds, some 700, 800 horsepower kicking those rears, the track fell apart and turned into its own lane real quick. How did you feel the track evolved, and were you happy with it?
Yeah, I was happy with it. The top, definitely at the end there, I could tell Dan was getting conservative, and I was just going for it, and if that caution would have came out, I probably would have sucked his eyeballs out and did a slide job on him. But we, I wish that caution didn't come out. It would have made it for a pretty good finish. We were moving there, and I feel like we were the only one that was actually able to pass people, and we just had it strolling. The setup really came around towards the end, and the car felt really good. I was surprised, because in the beginning, you would just blow the tires right off if you got on it too fast. But it was a pretty fun race.
Yeah, and that's what we look for here, I suppose. So either way, the floor is going to be yours. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to? Anyone at all? And anyone you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank UDSRA, Dirtco Media House for the sponsors, Virtual to Reality. Definitely you guys up here in the booth. You guys always do a great broadcast, no matter the late models, the sprint cars, or any other road racing stuff like that. And then also ADS for putting the show on. Definitely be back next week and try it again.
All right, the bright blue Corvette number 5 comes home in position number 2 after 100 laps of Limaland. Austin, thanks so much.
No problem.
So we might have Greg Thompson. No, I don't see Greg Thompson. So with that, let's see if we can get Blake Derflinger in here and see if we can get some words from Race Control. Let's see if he'll be up for it. Actually, Ian Blanchard's here. So we'll talk to Ian real quick because he's here. He showed up. So you know what? We'll get him sorted out. So that number 2, we'll get Ian Blanchard in here. Ian, you came home in the 5th position, 100 laps at Limaland. How'd it feel?
It was really wild out there, man.
Well, I mean, of course, one of the very fastest of the fast for the VLR machines, correct? So there was a lot to deal with. You had lap traffic at one point. You had some incidents. We had a string of cautions. We had a good little run at the end there. Unfortunately, weren't able to take the white checkered. But just, how do you feel this race went for you?
It was a pretty wild race there. I mean, the track really slickened off really fast, and like everybody says, this cushion at this place is wild. And if you're not up top, you're not fast. And early on, I feel really good. I could run the bottom, and it's pretty good. And once I get up to that cushion, I'm just not quite up to speed as some of these guys. So I was just kind of trying to hang on there. At one point, I was within car lengths of going a lap down, just holding on, just trying to hold off Don on the high side there, just to keep my lap. And the caution came out just as I got back by him there, and I kept my lap, and that kind of really saved my race.
Yeah, and once we started the restarts, things kind of unhinged, some could say. But overall, I mean, just watching this track roll in was impressive, I'd have to say. I mean, 2,200 pounds is no laughing matter, and with how hard you guys were chucking it and how hard and off and on the throttle, I mean, have you been happy with how the iRacing product's been as far as the dirt goes, the ruts, the stuff like that? It seems like this track is pretty bumpy.
Yeah, they've come a long way with it. I've only been back here for a few months now. I'm still trying to get a grip over here. But it's definitely come a long way. iRacing has done a really good job here. I'm really hoping they improve the cushion a little bit here. Like everybody says, the cushion is the place to be. I really hope they improve it a little bit. We get a little bit more side-by-side racing out of it in the near future, which I'm sure they're going to obviously come out with new updates here. But they've done a great job. It was a fun race tonight. The setup was a little bit tight, so it made it a little wild. And one mistake cost you big there. Like in the B main there, I ended up losing that win just after that slide job. Just made a couple mistakes, and that's all it takes at this track, especially. It's not very big, that's for sure.
No, one of the only quarter mile that we can have available to us. So, hey, congratulations, Ian. You came home in 5th position after running 100 laps at Limaland. Who gets it done for you? Who would you like to thank? Who would you like to give a shout out to?
Definitely got to thank ADS for putting this on. It's a great show. Good to see him running over here. You guys for broadcasting. Down Under Graphics. I got to thank Jonathan Schwemmler Race Cars. He's helped me out a long time here, and obviously Team VLR, guys.
Well, there you go. So, the number 2 machine, thanks very much, Mr. Ian Blanchard. So, let's get Blake Derflinger in here for the last thing. So, Blake, 100 laps at Limaland, pretty interesting, pretty crazy. How'd you think it went?
I mean, right off the bat, it was actually really good. People were being patient and knew they only had 16 incidents they were allowed. So, and at Limaland, they go quick. They go real quick. There's a little glitch there. If you just tap the wall, it gives you 2 incidents. So, most people were being mindful, but then when the track got wore down and that bottom was slow and people found out, they just moved to the top and noticed a lot more aggressive driving towards the end. But all in all, I think the beginning of the race was good. Last was not so impressive, in my opinion.
Yeah, and just the track wearing in. I mean, you don't normally get to see a 100-lap feature or something like this on such a short track. The track really evolved and really changed, and that cushion definitely formed. And I mean, it's kind of one of those things that you don't normally get to see. It was impressive to see, and the guys, I mean, certainly changed the racing, that's for sure.
Yeah, it definitely, like when that track started to wear, it got interesting. some guys, Zach found the line really quick. Unfortunate for him, his internet blinked out on him, and I mean, there's not much he can do there. I kind of feel bad for him because I think he had the car to beat, but Dan ran a really strong race. It would have been interesting to see how those two would have finished that race.
Yeah, most definitely, and unfortunately. Of course, we finished it under caution, but Dan had basically been pulling away every restart, so either way, Limaland Motorsports Park, definitely a check in the book there for round number 6. Floor is yours. Anybody like to give a thanks or shout out to or anything like that?
No, I just want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. Thank you to the fans for watching, and thanks for the drivers showing up. Hopefully next week we can put on a good show, maybe get more drivers, more people interested. I don't know, late models for us have just been kind of dead in my opinion.
Which is too bad, because they always seem to put on a pretty good show. But, of course, you never know who shows up every week. But either way, Blake Durflinger, thanks very much for having us, for one. And, 2, thanks for popping in the booth.
Yeah, thank you, Cam. Thank you, Hugo. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate everything you guys do.
Of course, so that's Mr. Blake Durflinger of the American Dirt Series. So, and of course, I can give the shout-outs because, hey, that's what they pay us for. It's CMF Motors Electronics, Dirtco Media Housing, Down Under Graphics, Kings of Dirt, Southern Indiana Lawn Care, Shiloh Forestry, and B-Derp 1934. Anyways, let's get that credits rolling, and let's get out of here. So, of course, it's been myself, Cam Walsh. It's been Randy. I've got water on my keyboard, chin out. It's been Hugo Louis. And it has been, of course, our overlay design of Andreas Warner, and Warren Design, Simon Grossman, the engineer, and, of course, live timing. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, RaceSpotTV's heading out. We'll see you all next time. You have a good one, and we'll catch you all later. Have a good one for all of us here at Limaland.